Hey, my name is Dan Gregersen. I'm the creator of PI course and I'm a SAP consultant. This weekend here in the beginning of January I had a go live, and as probably a lot of you guys have, go live over just in January is quite common because it's a new calendar year and you can do a lot of cool stuff after the new year or in the new year. So that's why a lot of things going on in January. I also can see from some of my customers that they not want to do the support over the Christmas, so it's easier just place them in January. Then it's a new calendar year and someone new to pay all the bills, a new budget. So that's why I guess January we see a lot of go lives there. I think this January I'll be having 3 different go lives and 3 different customers, which is quite good. Maybe 4. Let's see. In Denmark we have the saying that the examination is the prepared student's party, and I believe a lot of the same can be said about go lives, because it's kind of the same you want. You want to be able to be prepared and figure out what's going on and implement the changes as easy as possible. So in go live, there's 3 different things I definitely think you should cover. Well, obviously you probably need to go much more into detail and have a lot more project planning on, but what really is required for doing a go live. Just wanted to give you some of the pointers that I've seen in these different go lives, what's good, what's bad, and what you need to do for them. Whenever you're doing your planning of their go live, you have to consider what is the scope of this. Is this a full-scale ERP implementation where you would expect there's a lot of change, a lot of people don't know really what's going on and how to fix these issues? So that's really the big one. Then we got a little smaller one where it's just some changes we have to do over the weekend, where everybody's off the system, adding a new extra processes into it. And then the last process is the one where you are adding just simple changes that can be done anytime. So one of our go lives this week, this last weekend we had a go live in the weekend because we did not want anyone in the system. Next week we have a go live at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, because that's where everybody can fit together and we can do the go live and do everything that's required for it. So there's a lot of different things you need to consider planning here. You need to figure out how can we fail back, or do we need to fail back if something does not work. Sometimes you don't even have that option because, hey, we're going to use the new system whether or not you like it or not. So you just have to be able to iterate fast and figure out how to solve those issues. Because a lot of time whenever you're doing ERP in development, you kind of can test a part of it, but if you want to go to the 100%, it's not possible because the limited number of test resources, what kind of systems you have, and then the amount of test data you'll be able to create is just not there to create the full 100% test. And that's what you experience in the go live. And that brings me to the next part. That's when you are live after the weekend or whenever it is, you have some kind of an heightened support. You want to support your customer as much as possible, give them all the feedback and information they need to be able to deal with these things. So that's a part of the go live phase that you definitely need to plan into it. How do we do support? So what made me create this video was, we're doing this go live over the weekend, and now it's Wednesday and I have not heard anything from the customer. I think that's a good thing, because it means that the things that I've made was working as expected and there are no big changes in them that made this work worse than it already did everything was working as it was just before, and it was just a lot easier to run the things. So I believe that that's just something that worked a lot easier, and was, well, simple project, limited scope, and we were able to do that. I'm not sure if the other areas also did not have any support, but the PI part was quite simple. So maybe there'll come some later. We'll see when they get some other tests on this. But definitely a part of that, you need to plan, how do we test this? And then the important part, you need to celebrate. This is a victory that you have had. You went live with a project, and that made a change to the business, and now the business is able to run a lot smoother using some of the tools and techniques that you have developed in this process. So welcome to the month of Go Live, January, and I hope you have some successful Go Lives. So I encourage you to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Post some comments below what you have experienced with your Go Lives. What do you see? What's some good examples of Go Lives that you have done? Until we meet again, happy Go Lives!